Here we go. So today we have to start from our chapter number 7, security and protection of our operating system module, right? So, Lini, can we start? Okay. So, what's the core problem here? Firstly, make sure that all the commands are written in bash here. So, what is the core problem? The OS manages CPU, memory, files, devices, and processes without security mechanism. Any user or process could access or modify a resource it shouldn't, right? This line itself defines everything, which is basically a very big threat for anything, right? Any IT or based infrastructure. So yes, here's the problem. Now we are going to tackle this problem with our operating system, right? Earlier we have covered that how OS manages CPU, memory, files, devices, file system, and etc. All the things about our operating system. And now we are moving to security part. Okay. So here are a few terminologies: authentication, authorization, permissions, and least privilege, sandboxing. Yes, only 5 terminologies are here. We have to see only these 5 terminologies. Okay, so now here we will start from our first part, right? Authentication. What authentication actually means? Here's a problem. How does the OS know who is requesting access? Did you got what this first line is saying? Unique. Did you got it that what does this line means? Okay. How does the OS know who is requesting access? Here it is uh, it can be a user or a process who is requesting for access of a specific material or maybe anything, right? So the solution is authentication verifies the identity of a user or a process, right? For example, password, SSH key. We will learn about these kind of terminology, SSH key, MFA, right, in future. As we will move to advanced uh, scripting or advanced courses, right, we will discuss all these things there. For now, you just keep remember that there is a key named as SSH key. It is secure shell, right? SSH means secure shell, and it is secure shell key which is used to uh, establish the connection between two devices using SSH, right? Secure shell. So, for example, okay, authentication take place using passwords, SSH keys, biometrics, right, or MFA. Okay, let's do it. Let me first start my video. I have understood my contribution. Okay, so if you take a look on your mobile phones and other devices, right, there also you have to authenticate yourself, right? For example, if you have applied a lock on your smartphone, then you have to firstly answer the lock correctly, and after that, you can access the other functions of your mobile phone, right? Same like that here as well. The authentication verifies the identity, right? If you are not able to authenticate, right, or if a user is not authenticated, then it is a very big issue, right? So yes, here is the just a Linux experiment, right? Who am I told about that? Which user is currently logged in, right? Just what is its ID? And if you wanted to check about the login information, then you can run the command last here, right? And yes, here I have add this single line as well, right? Key distinction. It tells about a very Means the direct thing that what which terminologies provide us what thing, right? So authentication asks for who are you from users, right? That which user is right now uh, accessing the data or maybe uh, edit or run any process, right? etc, all those things. So authentication asks that who are you with the user. Just wait, I think that yeah, okay. So okay, so what we have to use, yeah, we have to run who am I ID. Who am I? Okay, so as as I told that who am I gives you the name of the user through which you are actually logged in, right? Uh, let's okay. Now I switch my user from Kali to root, and now when I run this, who am I? Then it told reflects me that root, right? Means the time when uh, sorry, means it will who am I is the command which you can use to know that from which user you are currently logged in, right? Okay, so let's clear it and mm, call user. Okay, now we can also use ID as well. Okay, so ID defines ID will show you all the IDs belongs to your user through which you have already logged in. For example, the user ID of Kali is 1000. There is a specific file on the, I think I forgot the name, right? Inside the etc directory, which shows us passwd slash etc slash passwd. Right, slash etc slash passwd. Okay. Now, this is the information about all the users who are right now on this machine, right? If you take a look here, then you can also find one entry named as Kali, right? Okay. And from here you can find out all the users which is uh, on your machine right now. Okay. Kali here. Okay. So you should run ID command to know the information about your Kali Linux. Sorry, about your user, right? UID tell you about the user ID, which is 1000 format, and GID tell about group ID, and that from which group the Kali user belongs to. Okay, and yeah, there are much more information which you can extract from here, right? Oh, mm, yes, here is some more information, right? If you write W, then you can find out the user which was logged in and when it was logging, right? I have take login at 5:40, and yeah, I don't think so there is much information to extract. Let's clear it. Okay, so you can run all these command who am I to know that from which user you are currently logged in, then ID to know that what is the ID, group ID or user ID of that particular user, and W to know about to know the information about the logged in user, right? Check login information. If you wanted to check out the login information, you can also run last. Okay, so this is all about the login information, right? Monday, just wait. This is too long, bro. This is too long. Okay, better. we need not all this information right now, but I will just show you that. Okay, you can run the last command to know the login information. Okay, so is authentication mm, clear to you, Unique? Okay, now we are moving to our second terminologies, which is authorization. So knowing who the user isn't enough, right? Using authentication, we know that okay, which user is logged in our machine, right? But it's not only enough. The operating system must decide what that user is allowed to do, right? If operating system cannot decide that, okay, what are the things which the particular user do, or what are the things which it uh, shouldn't do or it can't do, right? Then we can take login from one user and then access the things of another user, right? Which is again a major security flaw. So here's the solution about it is authorize. Yes, we should authorize them, right? So solution authorization determines whether an authenticated user can be access a resource, right? What does authorization determines? Whether an authenticated user, the user who have logged in from here, from authentication, right? Uh, Giving the password and the username, can access a resource or not, can access a particular resource or not. For example, user, here is a user named as Alice, right? It is authenticated, yes, because it has given its password and all the things which was needed. Can Alice read? etc slash shadow. Okay, so shadow is a file which used to um, store all the information about the user's password, right? For example, if you take a look around here, right, where we are here, this is the information about Kali user, but here you are unable to find out the password of Kali, right? And the time when I logged in, I input its password, but here you cannot find any information related to Kali user, right? So what you have to do, there is another file in which all the passwords are written. Okay. So what? Okay, we should run cat etc slash shadow permission denied, right? Because it's not root user. If you are root user, then only you can get access to such very serious materials, right? Here is it is Kali, and here you can see its encrypted password. This is too long, but it's the password of my Kali user, right? You cannot access this file etc slash shadow using a normal user. Okay, so you can also replace Alice to Kali, right? I take a login from Kali. So is it authenticated? Yes, it is authenticated because it provides the password, which is the uh, requirement of that particular authentication. But after that, can the Kali is able to read etc or shadow? So it isn't, right? The normal Kali couldn't do it. It don't have permission to see all of those things, right? So what does authorization tells about? What are you allowed to do, right? It asks to do, oh sorry, it asks to user, right? That what are the specific things or the specific um, yes informations or another thing for which you are allowed to do. Okay, and this thing was still sorry, this thing was distinguished using authorization, right? Now, okay, Unique, is authorization clear to you? Make sure the difference between all of those things, right? Authentication tells you about who you are, means asks you about who you are, and authorization asks you about that for how many things you are allowed to do. Is it clear? Okay. Now we are moving to permissions. So what are the problem? Multiple user or processes share the same system, right? For example, you can see here that my one user is Kali, and I can also take login with my another user, which is root, right? uh, su for switch user, then root. I have to enter the password of root. I think, yes, I forget about the password. Although this is another command using which I can take login from user. Sorry, login to root, as my Kali user is sudo, right? That is another concept we will discuss in about when we are learning about Linux, right? So yes, there are two users, right? Root and Kali on my system right now. So multiple users and processes share the same system, right? Two users but sharing the same Kali machine. One user shouldn't automatically be able to modify another user's file, right? Okay. Because if this can happen, right, then you can take uh, authentication or authorization from one user and change into the system files of the another user, right? So what's the solution here? The OS assign permissions to resources. Every resource have particular permission, right? यहाँ तक हम जो भी काम कर रहे थे ये हम यूजर के बेस पे कर रहे थे। अब हमने जो डिसाइड किया है वो किया है कि ठीक है, अब हम यूजर की तरफ से छोड़ेंगे एंड वी विल कंटिन्यू विथ द actual resource type, right? Let's apply the permissions on the resource, right? Some foundation on the resources. So Linux uses three things. R defines read, W defines write, and X defines execute. Read means you can only able to see the particular resource, right? You cannot either execute that or uh, make some modification in that particular. Write means you can actually you have a permission to modify that particular file or resource. And execute means you can run that particular resource, right? So example here is ls-l, right? Why we use hyphen l flag, unique? Why we use ls? Did you remember it? Why we using ls and hyphen l? Okay, just tell me, right? Exit from here. What ls does here? When I write ls and execute it, what it does? Tell me about that. That's the problem why I always used to tell about files on systems. You are close to but not accurate, right? ls used to list the material at the particular directory, right? Or the targeted directory. And hyphen L is a flag which is used to give us the detailed information about that particular thing. If I run ls hyphen L, then you can able to uh, go through all the detailed information about the files, right? Either the files or the directory or the material which is present in that particular uh, directory, right? Here I am in the Kali directory, and I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I have 10 directories here more. And now using the flag hyphen L, I am able to show their permissions. This sector shows us permissions, right? This all sector are about permission. So as I also list here, right? If you run ls-l, okay, what if I only want the information about that sock lab docker, right? I will learn about ls-l sock lab-docker. Okay, now here I have inside, right? Inside sock lab docker, I have this much files, and I also list the permissions of that as well. So you can use -l for detailed information and ls for list. Keep remembering these commands because you have to work on Linux or CLI, right? You are unable to navigate or just move to another locations or find out your required thing without these basic commands. Okay, so here is breakdown. You have seen, okay, you have to take a look that here it is 3, 3, 6, and 3, 9. For now, think that D doesn't mean anything, right? You have to actually divide this into 3 sections, right? Section number 1, section number 2, and section number 3. Each of 3, right? Because we have only 3 things here, right? Read, write, and execute. So you can remember from here that only 3 things are there in permission: read, either the permission of read, permission of write, and the permission of execute. So based on these 3 things, here are also the 3. You have to divide it into the 3 groups, right? First group, okay. Yes, okay. This is here. This is our first group, right? First RWX, first group. Second RWX, second group, and the third R hyphen X. Hyphen X means here's it doesn't have any permission for write, right? For whom? For others, right? Take a look here. What does why I have told you to distinguish or divide all these single line of permission into 3? Because by combining them, you are able to find something more interesting, right? The first group of permission, this RWX, defines the permission applied for the owner of that particular file or the directory, right? For example, here is directory named as by direct, right? And the first uh, group here or the first part here of this permission RWX defines the permissions which the owner means whom, the particular uh, thing which have created it, right? I'm sorry, the particular user which have created it. For example, here Kali have created it, right? So for Kali user, it has full permission. It can read, write, or execute this by direct, right? Or anything in this directory, right? Now, if we take a look on our second group, R hyphen X, which is here, it is RWX, means again the group from which it belongs to have those, just wait, okay, again those groups, the group from which the Kali belongs to, right, or the file belongs to, have the permission here, have the permission to read, write, and execute. Read, write, and execute, if something have read, write, and execute means it has full permission, right? And for other users here, right, if you are confusing between that what groups is or what owner is about, right, then you will understand, we will understand or tackle them in our upcoming classes when we are studying about Linux, right? So right now you should only remember that, okay, there are 3 parts in this, uh, what I should say, right, in this permission, right? First belongs to the owner, second belongs to the group, and the third belongs to the other users, right? So if we take a look on this file, right, by direct, right? So here the user is Kali, which the owner is Kali, right? So Kali have full permission. The group it belongs to also have full permission, but other users have only two permission: read and execute. They don't have the permission to write. Means they can execute the file, they can read the file, means the folder, but they cannot able to, the other users cannot able to execute, write or make any changes in the particular directory, right? Is it clear to you this, that you should divide a particular uh, thing into the three parts, right? Take a look here. If we execute the same thing or apply the same thing here, if we apply the same thing here, where, okay, sock.lab. No, not sock.lab. Here, rwx, r hyphen x means here the written permission, right, or the permission to write or modify is missing for group users, right? Not for the owner. It is the owner section. So owner have the full permissions, but the users which belong to the group of owner cannot able to make changes because there is no right permission, and also the other users also cannot able to make any changes in this folder, right? This is how you have to break down the permissions which is given to a specific resource. Either it can be a file or a folder or image, right? It is. So there are few two things, right? Uh, ch mode yani change mode, and ch on yani ki change ownership, right? You can change the permission as well as the ownership of the particular file. For example, let's create something here. Firstly, clear it. Did we have something? No. Okay. So, okay, Linux, tell me a command uh, through which we can only tell about. Okay. Tell me a command through which you can only create an empty file, right? If you need an empty file, then you can create that using the particular command. Did you remember that which command is this? Is that, what is that command through which you can create the empty files? No, no, not echo. Actually, echo से आप content डायरेक्ट इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रिंट आप उसको डायरेक्ट फाइल के अंदर सेव कर देते हो, राइट? एको नहीं। यार क्लोज, यू हैव टू मोर ऑप्शंस, राइट? एको से एम्प्टी फाइल क्रिएट नहीं होता है। मतलब आप कर सकते हो बट नॉर्मली उसको लिया नहीं जाता है कंसिडरेशन, राइट? अभी के लिए मेरे हिसाब से। आई थिंक यू फॉरगॉट अबाउट दैट। वी कैन यूज टच, राइट? आई एम गोइंग टू यूज टच कमांड, and instead of file 1 or 2 I just file.txt. Now here ls or ls hyphen, yeah, we have file.txt, so ls hyphen l. Now you can take a look on this file, rw hyphen and then rw hyphen and then r hyphen hyphen. It means that the user or the owner of this file have the permission to write and read, not execute, right? Then the group and the user who belongs to the owner's group can also read and write, not able to execute. And um, the other users which are available on that particular system also can only read, not able to write, not able to execute, as at both of these places there is only, means there is no word there, right? There is only half and half. Hope you got about that fact. Okay, but now we want that, okay, um, like that there is another user, right? Maybe named as Ali, right? And he wants to change this file, right? He wants to make changes in this particular file. Okay, let's create it, right? User add Ali, sudo user add Ali Kali. Okay, take a look. Yes, so firstly we should check slash etc slash, no, we can actually take a look from here as well. Not here. Okay, cat slash etc slash pass wt. Yes, now you can see that we have Ali as well here. Means we have one more user. So what we are going to do? Firstly, let's. Here is a file named as file.txt, right? So, so where we are right now? Firstly, let's present working directory. We are in home slash kali file.txt. ls-l, and the permissions here is something like that. Means it is not, means another user are not able to write or modify file.txt for now, right? If I try, right? So what how I can try? Search user, assume and search user Ali. Oh, sorry, I don't have entered the password. By the way, I have, I can use something sudo su Ali. Right now, I'm the particular user Ali, right? ls, bro, there is some mistake. Yes, I should exit it. Where I am in this, I should home slash Kali. Okay, so I don't have the permission to either see there as well. Okay, let's exit from here, right? Okay, unique. The particular user which I have created earlier is not able to, means it don't have any privilege, right? And this particular Kali user belongs to the sudo or group, and that's why that particular user is not able to list the material which is shown here. So okay, let's just change out this permissions, right? So using chmod, right? यानी कि change mode, right? There are few codes which you have to use, right? You don't directly give that, okay, I want rwx or rw, right? You have to use particular codes, right? Where we can access it. Mm, permission. Okay. I'm not able to see the one which I want to use. Okay, here it is. You have to write chmod, and here, right? If you remember, means what if you, I have just told you a second earlier, right? you have to divide these in three groups. Here, each group belongs to one specific number. Means the first number belongs to, if you want to change the permission of owner, you have to change the first number. If you wanted to change out the permission of the second, means the group, you have to change the second number. And if you want to change the permission of the third or the other section, then you have to change the third number, for example. And here this chart, right? You can take a look on this number, octal number, right? If you want 000 means no permission, right? So what you can do, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this, right? So yes, what you can do, sorry, and let's be to our specific work, right? What we want is to give permission of this file to be edited with by another user as well. Means we need w here, right? हमें सिर्फ इसको ऐसा परमिशन देना है कि जो file.txt है उसको, जो file.txt है उसको दूसरे यूजर्स भी जो है एडिट कर पाए, राइट? So what we have to run, we have to run chmod, and here we need read and write. Okay, we don't write this, we only need read and write. Here it is, write is missing, right? So what we can actually run is that yes, number 6, read and write, the permission of read and write. Chmod, right? And then, sorry, going to a side, chmod, this is for owner, this is for group, and this is for others. Then it tell me what should be the number here, right? I have already shown you this. What should be the number which we should put here? Let me take, okay, you have this in front of you, right? What should be the number instead of 604? Firstly, did you got that what this number signifies or not? You need reply fast. Did you understand that what these number represent here? 640. Ninik, are you there? Didn't understand. So you should interrupt me, na? Okay. Tell me whether you understand that I have told you to divide this section into the three particular sections, right? Did you understand that one? Okay. Now each section here belongs to single word here. Means 0 belongs, 0 change the permission of r hyphen x. Here 4 changes the permission of 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 r hyphen x again because it is the same here. And here the 6 changes the permission which is rwx. So you have to take care of the order, right? That what order is there. For example, let me tell you about, okay, what we want that other users can also write file.txt or modify this, right? So what we does, chmod, we need read write and execute, sorry, read write command, or uh, we don't need any change here, right? And okay, now if we know that, okay, we don't need any change, take a look on this chart, and here you will find that, okay, at octal number 6, right, you have read write permission, it don't have any execute permission, which is here, right? For the owner, means it has 6. right? This has the octal number 6. So let's write here 6. This 6 belongs to owner. Now we write 6 one more time. Why? Because this belongs to the group from which the owner belongs. Now we want the same thing, that the another user can also read and write this file. So we again write 6 because this last 6 did, signifies about the other users, right? Now the name of the file.txt. We have modified it ls-l. Now you can take a look that the section rw hyphen is also means the section of other users also have the permissions to write as well, right? Now is it clear or not? Is it clear? Okay. So let's try one more thing. What? Here is file.txt, right? Here is 666 permission using the chart. Now I want to remove the permission from the group and the permission from other users to write, right? I only want that the permission of read and write should only belongs to the owner, not any other user in that particular group, nor the other group, right? Sorry, nor the other users. The permission of read and write only belongs to the owner, and the other users only have the read it permission. Tell me the number, the octal number which I replace here. This is the chart in front of you. Take a look. First, I only want read permissions to group and other, and read and write to owner. Tell me the number which I should return there, right? First, 644. Yes, great. Means you got it already. Have you taken the screenshot of this one? Okay, cut it down. So you can use chmod, the octal number, and either the file name on the or the location, right? To change the permission of the particular resource, right? And then if you wanted to change out the ownership, you can use chown, yani change ownership, user, and the group from which the particular user belongs to, and the file, right? Oh, 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 oh. uh, we will do this particular, okay, we will change the ownership uh, in the next class, right? Because yeah, I am confusing a bit here. Okay, let's move to another thing. This experiment we have already done. Test.txt. Then we have changed its permission. ls-l we have already done, and now the owner can read and write it. We can apply this to as well. Chown and chmod. We need 600 to file.txt, not guile, it's file.txt. Okay. Clear it, and then ls-l. Now you can see that only the owner have the permission to read and write. Another user can't even read and can't write this or make modification in this particular file. Okay, hope this is clear to you. You also try this one and this one. Yeah, okay. So here, okay, the core idea is Permission tells about the resource level access control. Earlier we have applied authentication. This is user level. Authorization. This is also user level, and now it is the resource level access control, right? Resource level control basically, or resource level limits. Now we are moved to least privilege. A process with excessive privilege become dangerous if compromised. If you take a look here, then we discuss about everything from process to the resource to the user, right? Because security matters a lot, right? It can either destruct or save everything. So a process with excessive privilege, if a process have much more privilege which it shouldn't have, then it can also be used for harmful things, right? So a process with excessive privilege becomes dangerous if compromised. For example, web server, if the web server gets compromised, then it can also gives you root privilege. Root privilege means the normal user don't have the privilege, right? Means if you have written, listen the incidents about um, the companies got hacked and there is something, another picture shows on the screen again and again and again, right? So that's because the it's just a scenario, right? It's because it can be because the web server got compromised and the attacker used this compromised web server to get the root privilege, right? If it going to be too technical, just understand that what I am trying to say. You need not to go too depth in it, right? And if once we have the root privilege, then we can compromise the whole system, which is also very dangerous, right? So what is the solution? Give a user or process only the privilege required to or perform its job. For the job means the particular task, right? This used to save a lot of destruction, right? Least privilege used to save a lot of destruction. It says that we should only give the permissions which are required by the particular process or the particular user. We shouldn't give the permissions or the privileges which are not going to come in their use. So here the bad idea is about application should have the root privilege. No, it shouldn't have. What is the best or even better? Applications should have restricted user and only and that restricted user should have only required resources, right? This is best because now if it has only required resource, it cannot able to go to root, and if it is not able to go to root, then we have saved a lot of things, right? So show what commands the current user can execute through sudo. So there are the concept of three things, right? Root, sudoers, and pseudo users, right? Means pseudo users, and the normal users, right? There are three kinds of users. We will discuss in about our Linux module, right? So yes, about this particular Linux experiment. If you want to show the commands which are uh, given to execute by the sudo user, then you can use sudo hyphen l, right? Let's run it. Clear. Kali user is my sudo user on this machine, right? On this particular machine. So Kali hyphen l, sorry, sudo hyphen l, right? Sudo hyphen l. Run Kali. I can execute this. This will not. You are not able to. Here it is, right? You are not able to understand this right now, but this defines the permissions here, right? All permissions for the sudo user. And sudo can run at the privilege of Kali as at the privilege of root as well, right? We will understand this in depth in our upcoming sessions, right? just remember that you can run sudo -l to mm, take a look on all the commands which a sudo user can execute. Then check the identity, right? Current identity, which I think we have already done. Yes, right? So least privilege is a concept which tells that we should only provide the particular privilege to a particular resource which was needed or will become in the use of that particular either user or the process, right? It is very important from the front end perspective as well, right? If you make some mistake and give unnecessary permissions or the privilege to particular user, or just mm, you just don't take a look on any hole on your front end design, then it also leads to a very destructive things, right? 95% or even 90% attacks, cyber attacks, are only happens just because of the uh, workers there, right? Because they are not uh, too much means not active, too much alert at that particular time. Okay, so what security principle? Yes, this least privilege defines a security principle here, right? Which is minimum privilege, minimum damage when compromised. Means it means we should give the minimum privilege so that we don't have to face the uh, damage, right? When this our system or our resource get compromised. This is the one of the most important principle in operating system security. Unique. Is it clear? Right? Is it clear to you? Least privilege? Not clear to you. It just simply said the least privilege. You can take it as a principle, right? It is just a principle which says that you should only give limited permissions to a particular user or particular process. For example, right? I have created a user here, right? What Ellie? Let me switch to that particular user, Ellie. I don't know the password. Even I don't. Sorry. Yes. I can use sudo. Sudo means I have the advantage to use the root permissions. Okay. Now I am inside Ellie, right? If I ls right now, what it is written? Permission denied. Why? Because I am in the directory of Kali, and Kali is sudo user. Means it don't have permission to open this particular directory, right? Kali. Okay. So what we should do? We should means if it is not even able to see this directory, then there are very less amount of. I think yes, we can do a thing, right? We can do a thing. Exit from here, ls ch ch mode. Give it the permission to 666. Okay. Now it should be. Bro, why I am not able to take a look here? Okay, okay. Just wait. We can run echo. This is new file to file.txt. Permission again denied. Are you able to see that whenever we try to do something, it says that permission denied again and again? Why? Because the permission which this LE user here didn't give him permissions or allow him to use the resources which the sudo have. I think that, okay, just take it simple. No need to confuse. हमको कम से कम परमिशन देना है, कम से कम प्रिविलेज देना है कि वो जो पर्टिकुलर रिसोर्स है और जो पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस, जो पर्टिकुलर यूजर है, उसको सिर्फ जितने रिसोर्स और परमिशंस की नीडेड है, बस उससे ज्यादा हमको उसको ज्यादा प्रिविलेजेस नहीं देना है. हर यूजर को हम प्रिविलेज देते हैं तब जाके वो कुछ काम कर पाता है, राइट? अगर हमने यहाँ पे यूजर बनाया है, if we have created this L user here, then we can also change its permission, which we have already taken a look on, right? We can do that thing. We actually allocate the particular privilege or the things, right, which the particular user or the process can use. अगर इसमें ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा हो तो सिर्फ तुम ये याद रखो कि हमको अपने रिसोर्सेस को, अपने प्रोसेस को या यूजर को, जो भी हमारे पास जो चीज है, राइट, उनको कम से कम परमिशंस देना है। सिर्फ उतना ही परमिशंस देना है जितने का उनका काम है, उसके अलावा हमको कोई परमिशंस नहीं देना है। इज इट क्लियर? मान लीजिए कि आपके घर पे, राइट, एट योर होम देयर इज अ वॉचमैन आउटसाइड एंड यू हैव गोल्ड इनसाइड योर होम। सो आप उसको ये परमिशन नहीं दोगे कि मेरे ये पूरा जो केस है जिसमें गोल्ड रखा हुआ है उसका आप की ले लो और उसका लॉक आपको पता होना चाहिए। क्यों? क्योंकि इट मे बी कि वो जो पर्टिकुलर गार्ड है वो खुद ही उस पूरे सोने को लेके भाग जाए, राइट। ऐसा हो सकता है, राइट, कि अगर वो गार्ड गया, उसने कभी सोना देखा और वो उसको लेके खुद ही भाग जाए, तो आप क्या चाहोगे कि ठीक है वो गेट पे ही खड़ा होना चाहिए, उसके पास मेरे जो केस है जिसके अंदर सोना और जो गोल्ड है वो रखा हुआ है, तो वो उसको ना देख पाए, उसको एक्सेस ना कर पाए, राइट। सो दैट यूर योर गोल्ड विल स्टे सेफ एट दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस, राइट। वो बचाने के लिए आपको ये सब करना पड़ता है, राइट। हाँ, नाउ इट इज क्लियर। नाउ देयर इज वन मोर कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सैंडबॉक्सिंग. What is the problem? Even with permission, sometimes even with permission, running untrusted software is dangerous. If I run untrusted software at my particular device with permissions, right? It is dangerous, right? मतलब हमने क्या करा, सबसे पहले यूजर्स पे यहाँ पे दो चीजें लगाई, ऑथेंटिकेशन, ऑथराइजेशन। उससे पता चला कि वो यूजर कौन है और उसको क्या क्या चीजें अलाउड है। देन वो परमिशंस को देखता है, मीन्स रिसोर्सेज बेस्ड परमिशंस देखता है, एंड आफ्टर दैट लीस्ट प्रिविलेज का कॉन्सेप्ट हमने यहाँ देखा। अब हम देख रहे हैं सैंडबॉक्सिंग के, बाई चांस अगर यहाँ पे भी कुछ गड़बड़ होती है, मतलब हम रिस्क नहीं ले सकते, राइट, वी कांट इवन टेक अ रिस्क ऑफ बिट। सो what is sandboxing said here that sorry, yeah, the problem here is even with permissions, with the limited permissions, running untrusted software is dangerous, right? Because we don't know that what's the mind of hacker, right? We have a human mind, and uh, it can run a diverse nature, right? For example, when you run untrusted programs, it get access of file system, and somehow from file system, if it get the access of network and then process, then system, then it will break out the whole thing, right? Means the attacker from untrusted program have the permissions of our system, right? It's not good. It's even terrible, right? So what is the solution here? Put the program or the untrusted program inside an isolated or isolated environment with a restricted access. Means now we even apply the permissions on the environment as well, right? For example, this is my host operating system, means the operating system, the main operating system, right? And inside this operating system, I create virtual environment where I run these untrusted files or untrusted program, right? For example, this is my Kali machine, right? So means it's just for you, right? If I don't want that if I make mistake here in this particular machine, then this should also apply to my real machine. So what I did, I create a sandbox environment inside the virtual, sorry, VM box, VMware workstation here, right? So, and now if I even delete the whole operating file, right? If somebody even tries to hack this system, right? This particular uh, system, right? The Kali system or the Kali Linux system, then it was my actual system, means this Windows system was saved from them, right? Means the basic concept is just provide the isolated environment. Inside the host operating system, you have created another, yeah, you have created another area or the another environment which is fully isolated with more restrictive accesses, right? Is it clear to you or have doubt? Okay. Now there are few terminologies, right, which is used for isolation. Namespace, which means isolated process or resources, right? It is used under this sandbox, right? So you can find namespaces, which means the isolated programs or the resources, right? Then you can take a look on C groups, which is limit CPU, memory or resources, right? Means जितने भी लिमिट करके रखा है एक पर्टिकुलर रिसोर्सेज को कि इससे ज्यादा रिसोर्सेज नहीं देना है, right? These all are categorized in the C groups. Then seccomp restrict system calls, right? What is system calls, Unique? What is system calls? Did you remember? Yes, I think you are writing. Okay. Unique, write fast. You can also open your mic as well. Oh, you take time to write this two words. Okay. I think that just let firstly continue this. System calls are the act like a delivery boy between user space and kernel space. Oh, yes. Now you got it. So containers. What is containers? Sorry. Seccomps, right? Seccomps list all the systems calls which are restricted in this sandbox environment, and then the containers are things which combine these mechanisms, right? So basic experiment if available, unsure, hyphen fork, hyphen wait. We will learn this uh, at any another time, right? And the process view inside the namespace differ the host. Yeah, it's very common, right? So yes, there is a security chain. These concepts are worked together. Okay, so for now, I wanted to tell that our whole security and protection part is completed, right? We are on our conclusion. Security chain, right? These concepts are worked together. Authentication, firstly, authentication asks you who are you whenever you log in. Then authorization, what access does this particular user have? Then the permission, what operations are allowed for this particular user, then least privilege, how much access should receive, and then sandboxing, what happens if the program is compromised. All these things are taken care at once, right? All these concepts work together. So here is one line description. Authentication tells you about who is this. Authorization tells you about what should they access. Permission tells about what operation are allowed. Least privilege can be reduced that access further. Or sandboxing, what happens if the component get compromised. So we create another dummy network, dummy environment for it, right? Is it clear to you, Unique? Have any doubt?